Animals, here we come. We have just traveled 4 billion years, and now the pace of evolution increases, so our pace down the highway of life must slow down in order to describe it. The lines on the highway, which used to represent 10 million years apiece, now represent only 1 million years apiece. Sponges were the first animals that had different kinds of cells doing different tasks. Some of their cells pumped water, and some filtered out tiny bits of food, but they had no real tissues. Cnidarians, anemones and their relatives, on the other hand, had muscle cells and nerve cells. This enabled them to bend, stretch, and flex. Jellyfish were probably the first animals to move using muscles. An ancient marine worm was the first animal to move purposefully. It had nerve cells that ran the length of its body, and a concentration of these cells at one end formed the first primitive brain. In fact, this was the first animal with a head, and the light-sensitive cells in that head allowed it to recognize both the direction and the intensity of light. Since it could both see and move, this worm interacted with the world in a very new way. The Cambrian began about 540 million years ago and lasted about 50 million years. During this time, the varieties of life exploded. Every group of animals living today can find their roots in the Cambrian. It is here that we part ways with the sponges. And the cnidarians and jellyfish. And platyhelminthes, the flatworms. Starfish and the sea urchins and other echinoderms have just joined us, and we must already bid them goodbye. So long to the roundworms and other annelids. Hello and goodbye to the mollusks and ancestors of squid and octopus. Arthropods, we hardly knew ye. Have fun giving rise to spiders, crabs, scorpions, and insects. The road ahead is our own. At this stage, our direct ancestors are the earliest chordates. 530 million years ago, the earliest chordates appeared. They looked more like worms than fish, but they would give rise to all creatures with a backbone. The first true vertebrates were jawless fish with cartilage for skeletons. They lacked the paired fins of fish to come. 480 million years ago, fish finally developed jaws and teeth. So long to lampreys. And 450 million years ago, the first bones. So we part ways with sharks and rays. The lungfish will carry us forward toward the next big step. Tetrapods. $365 million years ago, fish living in shallow waters traded fins for legs, had simple lungs as well as gills, and became the first tetrapods. And by this time, plants and centipedes, and spiders and insects had been on land for 30 million years. The earth was green and the skies were blue with an oxygen-rich atmosphere. 340 million years ago, the first true amphibians began to harvest the resource by coming onto land to feed. but they had to keep their skins moist and had to return to the water to breed. This is the earliest known reptile. It was about 8 inches long and looked a lot like modern lizards. Because reptiles have tough, waterproof skins, their territory wasn't restricted to damp domains of the amphibians. And by pioneering waterproof eggs, they could even breed without returning to the water. Amniotic eggs have been around for over 300 million years. The earliest mammal-like reptiles, called pelycosaurs, ruled the Earth for about 40 million years and gave rise to the therapsids, one step closer to mammals. Therapsids are the direct ancestor of mammals.